You know, when I first heard the phrase thoughts become things, I said to myself, thoughts become things? Thoughts have nothing to do with things, you know? Thoughts are imaginary. Things are, you can touch them, you feel them. But I heard it coming from a lot of the greats, Oprah Winfrey, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, people like that, and they're accrediting all of their success to it. So, of course, I wanted to do some research. And what I learned was that when you have a thought, it travels down your spine and releases from your lower back. Now, it doesn't just travel across your town or even Earth. This thought travels across the entire universe. Now, the third law of motion demands that every action has an opposite and equal reaction, which means the universe has to do whatever it has to do to make that thought travel back to you, opposite, and be thought again, which is the equal reaction. So, let's put it to the test. Let's say you got somebody kneel down in bed. Dear Lord, I need a car. I got a great job, a career. I don't want to lose it. Car's acting up, but please give me a new car. According to the third law of motion, that thought gets sent out. The universe does whatever it has to do to make that person say again, please, Lord, give me a car. That doesn't sound very productive to me. If you're saying, please give me a car, it means you still don't got one. Now, not to get all preachy, but there's very few things that science and religion have in common. One of them, I'll give you a quick Bible quote, Mark 11:24. Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you already have it, and it will be yours. So, once again, this guy kneels down in bed. Dear Lord, I need a car, a career, I don't want to lose it. Please give me a car. According to Mark 11:24, do you ever get the car? No. It clearly states that whatever you ask for, believe that you already had it. If you already had the car, you wouldn't be asking for a new one. You'd be appreciating the one you had. So according to both science and religion, I'm doing something wrong. And now I see why prayers aren't getting answered. Now I wanted to attack different subjects with it, so move over to relationships. Okay? I always get someone coming up to me saying, oh, my girlfriend does this, or oh, my boyfriend does that, and they talk about. I'm just listening, and at the end, I stop, and I say, dang, it seems like you've been thinking about that a lot. And they're like, yeah, I've been thinking about it all day. And I'm like, well, there you go. Thoughts become things. Whether you focus on having debt or not having debt, your focus is on debt, and debt will grow just like anything else in life. Now, speaking of debt, let's look at it from a financial standpoint, okay? On one hand, you got a successful businessman climbing the corporate ladder. On the other hand, you got a failing business owner. Let's start with him. Now, I want you to tell me what you think his average daily thoughts are. Happiness, bliss, maybe planning a family vacation? No. This is how he feeds his family. This is his livelihood. He's thinking, I'm failing, I'm losing, I need a miracle, I got 6 months tops. And the universe does whatever it has to make him say again in the future, I'm failing, I'm losing, I need a miracle, I got 6 months tops. Thus the poor get poorer. Now let's take a look at the rich getting richer. Okay? The guy who's climbing the corporate ladder, what do you think his average daily thoughts are? I love life. I love winning. That promotion, I got it. It's in the bag. And the universe does whatever it has to make him say again, I love life. I love winning. I got the promotion. See how that happened? Because there's two things that strengthen the thought. The first one is whether it's positive or negative. Positive thoughts have hundreds and sometimes thousands of times more power than a negative thought. And the other thing is confidence. You have to know the outcome like it already happened yesterday. And I really want you to think about that. You get a lottery ticket and you tell yourself, I won a lottery, I won a lottery, I won a lottery, and they're announcing the numbers. What's going on in your chest? Heart's beating, doubt, the ego stepping in. Now, had you won that lottery yesterday and you were reading those numbers, it would be a totally different feeling. So that's what I mean when I say you have to feel it. You have to know the outcome like it already happened. So, now that we know why you got to see it before you do it, let's give it a shot. Me and you, right here, right now, let's get us a car. Alright? I like to go big, so I'm going to go for an Aston Martin. Alright? So, close my eyes. Hand up on the steering wheel, right? And I say that because if you had your dream car, you wouldn't see yourself in it driving by. You'd be behind the wheel. So, hand up on the steering wheel, eyes closed, driving the Aston Martin down the street. I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. Listen, you gotta feel it. All right. Thoughts are just empty thoughts. It's the emotion that counts. Okay. Think about it like this. When you have a thought, those are the words describing to us what that emotion feels. So you gotta really feel it. Hand up on the steering wheel, feeling good, looking good. Aston Martin, yeah, I'm actually feeling it in my chest right now. I could do this. I could rock an Aston Martin. What's that like? 25? What's that like? $250,000? Something like that. That's like $2,500 a month. I could do that. I can legit afford that right now. I'd have to sell my house. But I'm definitely not gonna do that. So I could get a promotion, And my last job, that took me you get 3 years before you could do a promotion. So you might have to wait. You could get a second job. That's an option. What else? Hold on. Pause for a second. What just happened? I just spent 2 or 3 seconds magnetizing, manifesting that Aston Martin into my life. And another 7 to 10 seconds proving to myself why I can't have it. So when I noticed this repeatedly happening to all my thoughts, I said to myself, why such counterproductive behavior? Why is the brain working like that? Why is it working against me? So I did some more research. I did some digging. Psychology led me to some quantum physics. And I learned that that's your subconscious just doing its job. It's doing what it's supposed to do, which is bring you back to the current moment. Why? Of course, you gotta learn. You gotta keep going further to learn new things. And what I learned there was that the subconscious doesn't really acknowledge our future or our past. And I'll explain to you like this. Have you ever touched, tasted, or felt anything from the future? No. If you look at the future, you're taking an educated guess at what could happen. You might be right, you might be wrong. The same goes for the past. When you're living in the past or reminiscing about the past, that's all you're doing. You're reminiscing about a previous current moment, but everything you've ever done and everything you ever will do will be in the current, reoccurring, seemingly reoccurring, I say, current moment. That's why the subconscious doesn't acknowledge the future or the past. That's why something wakes us up from every single thought we've ever had. 60,000 thoughts on average per day per person, and something has woken us up, just snapped us out of every single one. That's your subconscious just doing its job. Now I really want you to think about that too. Something that common, something that has happened that much in your whole life deserves to be studied. And now, screwed. I can't even focus on something long enough to manifest it because, it seems like my subconscious is working against me because that's what it's programmed to do. And so now I kind of have to work with that. So I'm thinking, if that's what it's just programmed to do, I'm not going to be able to change it. I'm not going to be able to stop it. Maybe I can slow it down. Okay? The brain is a muscle. It has muscle memory. It's been working my whole life like a train, just chugging away, solving problems, looking at things, and da-da-da-da. How do I slow it down? And by definition, that's meditation. Okay? Like I said, think of the train. Think of your brain like a train, just chugging away all these years. You trying to slow it down, it's like shooting a BB gun at a freight train. If you want your brain to slow down, you want to be able to slow it down in the middle of the day so all these crazy thoughts aren't coming to you, popping into your mind. I gotta get milk. What about this? What about that? You have to first practice quieting the mind if you want to quiet the mind. And I know a lot of people frown on meditation. So many people say to me things like, I don't have time for that. And I'm like, oh, it kills me because if anything you're going to do the things that work on you. And out of the things that work on you, this would have to be the most, you got to try it. You have to try it. But like I always say, the fact of the matter is, you want to quiet your mind, you must first practice quieting the mind. The average person can't sit in a room for more than 3 minutes without getting up, walking out, or getting antsy and picking up their cell phone. It's called mental torture. Okay? Psychology calls it mental torture. It's the current state of mind of almost everyone walking the planet today. And we need to change that. Like I said, if you want to quiet the mind, you must first Practice quieting the mind. Now, before I end this, I want to leave you with one last side note. To whom much is given, much is tested. I'm sure we've all heard that before, but what greater test than the test of time? Because I can tell you no all day long, and you can still have hope, and you can still have faith. But if I make you wait months, years, that's when it fades, and fast. So stay patient. I like that pony we wanted, we all wanted when we were a kid and we gave up on. Stay patient. Okay? Stay patient with your dreams. If you ain't dead, it ain't over yet. Samuel L. Jackson didn't get noticed until he was 42. Bruce Willis, 36. Okay, so stay patient with your dreams. Be willing to ride them out till death. This is it for life. Not like the pony. Okay? Know the outcome. No matter what anyone tells you, and most importantly, no matter what the world shows you, know the outcome like it happened yesterday. So there's no need for blind faith. Remember the lottery ticket I talked about earlier. Okay? Remember, thoughts become things. What seeds have you been watering? I always ask people that, and they got this big question mark on their face, and it's like, look around you. Those are the seeds you've been watering. Water some new ones. And last, but certainly not least, stay positive. Okay? A lot of people are going to try to steer you in many different ways, and many different thoughts are going to come to mind. Be the watchman at the gate. Don't just let your thoughts just fly through. Close that gate and try to stay positive as often as possible. The alternative is negative. Okay? Stay positive. I love you guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.